Hello and welcome all to the launched edition of Sustainable Water Management Conclave. With its mission to address the challenges of water management and meet the present need for building sustainability, efficiency, and resiliency in the water sector, Schneider Electric, in association with Ministry of Jal Shakti, National Institute of Urban Affairs, and APAC News Network, have partnered to support the Ministry of Jal Shakti's mission and help drive greater sustainability in water management. The sustainability initiative Green Yodha is making a difference by driving awareness and increasing adoption of sustainability solutions and practices. This initiative will be the enabler to bridge the gap between different water processes and digitization. It will be instrumental to make water and wastewater facilities become sustainable and efficient. Hi, I'm Shovik, and today we at APEC News Network, in association with Schneider Electric, bring to flag off technology knowledge exchange series to impart necessary know-how about the innovation and digital technology required to achieve reliability and sustainability in the water sector through next generation automation and digitization. And to flag off this initiative, we have today with us eminent speakers and thought leaders from government ecosystem and industry. We have with us Sri G. Ashok Kumar, Director General of National Mission for Clean Ganga, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. G. Ashok doesn't need any introduction. He is a policymaker, he is a leader who has done tremendous work in his various capacities in state governments as well as in Government of India. He was instrumental for bringing out Catch the Rain campaign to create awareness on the effective use of rainwater harvesting. We also have with us Avinash Mishra, Advisor, Water and Land Resources, NITI Aayog. We have with us Sri Hitesh Vaidya, Director, National Institute of Urban Affairs, commonly known as NIUA. And we also have with us Bidisha Nagaraj, Chief Marketing Officer, Schneider Electric India, and Mr. Senthil Kumar, Vice President, Industrial Automation, Schneider Electric India, and Mr. Arkul Shenoy, Segment Head, Water and Wastewater, Schneider Electric India. To flag off the initiative, we have today with us, as I've already told you, G. Ashok Kumar. Let's begin the session by learning more about the mission of the Ministry of Water, supported by the NITI Aayog, NIUA, and Schneider Electric. Along with the Minister of Jal Shakti, join the good fight, be a green Yodha. Let's know more from Bidisha Nagaraj, Chief Marketing Officer, Schneider Electric India. Over to you, Bidisha.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much, Shovik. I'm so glad we are all here today to address a very, very important topic that's going to impact us as human beings, as citizens, as well as us representing industries. We're talking about global emissions and global warming today and the impact of that in our industries. Global emissions have soared by two-thirds in the last 3 decades since international climate talks began. To make the reductions required, what's needed is a new approach that creates incentives for leading countries and industries to spark transformative digital transformations. What does digital transformation mean and how does it impact us? What it means is an efficient way of measuring and tracking our energy consumption as human beings, as citizens, or if you're representing industries. By measuring and tracking your energy consumption, it would in turn contribute to the decarbonization trajectory, resulting in the achievement of the global target of limiting the 1.5 degrees global warming. As things stand today, predictions are that if this is not addressed in an accelerated way, then temperatures in summer is going to go up by more than 2.5 degrees. What does that mean? Let's imagine Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, today we are at, our peak goes at about 47, 48 degrees Celsius. If global warming continues at 2.5 degrees Celsius, then we are talking about in excess of 50 degrees Celsius. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to stress how important the topic is for discussion. Now, the challenge cannot be solved by a single entity or an individual. It needs a social awakening and a collective action by the whole country and society. I'm extremely happy to share that Schneider Electric has recently launched an initiative called the Green Yodha. As you know, Schneider Electric's brand purpose is to bridge sustainability and progress. It is an initiative that calls for conscious citizens, businesses, associations, and institutions to unite to make the planet more sustainable. These actions include the adoption of sustainable practices in the area of energy efficiency, renewables, solar, automation, digitization, and more importantly, addressing and embracing a new world of electricity to meet both individual and corporate sustainability goals. Through this initiative, we aim to build a community that is at the forefront of making everything from our industries to our homes more sustainable and resilient through tangible actions. A call for changing the world for the better. To bring about change that can realize a future we can all be proud of, a world that can be a much better planet when we hand it over to our next generation. Every action, big or small, counts here. Together, we can empower sustainability and bring a change in this world. Because the fight for our planet, remember, ladies and gentlemen, cannot be won alone. It needs a commitment by a unity of the whole community. Today, we are committed to fulfilling the mission of the Ministry of Jal Shakti, which is to bridge the gap between different water processes and digitization through sustainable flow of water that can help water and wastewater facilities meet new priorities and overcome hurdles that have slowed progress in the past. Along with us, today we welcome the Ministry of Jal Shakti to join the good fight and become a green Yodha for the water and wastewater industry. I would now like to invite Mr. Asok Kumar, Director General, Namami Gange, Government of India, as our green Yodha who is committed to driving sustainability in the water sector. Mr. Asok Kumar, welcome, a big welcome to you, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, today.
Thank you, Bidisha, for the nice words of introduction. Um, it's a very important topic which you are handling now. The water conservation has become a very important aspect in the government, particularly the government of in the last couple of years, with the formation of Ministry of Jal Shakti and the Prime Minister himself driving the Cash the Rain campaign, the Jal Jeevan mission, and the drive Swachh Bharat mission to improve the quality of water. So water has become a very important aspect, resource as far as the government of India is concerned. Rightly so, because when we are talking about or dreaming about a $5 trillion economy, the most limiting factor is now water, because we can get manpower, we can get technology, we can get the power probably, but the important resource, water, that has to be conserved and probably used in a better way, so that that will not end or be the limiting factor for the dream of the $5 trillion economy. For this, if you look at it, there are many initiatives the government has taken, particularly to ensure water security. We have now doing a lot of activities for improving the quantity or water availability by trying to store as much rainwater as possible through the Jal Shakti and Cash the Rain campaign, which was very successfully done in last year. We, as a part of that campaign, could do about 47 lakh structures in the country, and that I'm hopeful that would have stored a lot of rainwater, and that will be helping us in getting our water table higher. Then also we are now monitoring the quality of water, because water security has both its aspect, quantity and quality. And the quality aspects are being monitored very, very stringently. Almost every quarterly meeting with the chief secretaries of states are taken by the Secretary of Water Resources, and we look at the pollution of river stretches and how it can be mitigated. We are now planning a very, very detailed action plan for ensuring that the contamination of river water is prevented. We are trying to see that no untreated sewage or dirty water goes into the river, and so that the river can now flow in a pristine way throughout the stretch. These two things are the focus areas of the ministry, and we are also trying to put in a lot of digital technologies and the application of digital technology to ensure that this water, both quality and quantity, are properly monitored and ensured. This is where the initiative of Schneider Electric comes in very important, because they are pioneers in this field of using digital technology for water management. I'm very happy that they have joined with APAC to create this very, very sensitive set of people, or enlightened set of people called green Yodhas, who would be spreading the message of water sustenance, and also ensuring the water security in the country. This is the one of the basic need actually of the hour. And I once again congratulate the Shiner Electric and their associate partners, the APAC, for taking up this, and to bring about a sort of a revolution in the country by involving students and youth to join as green Yodhas, and in our fight against pollution of water and wastage of water. There are very interesting models where digital applications can help in conserving water. The foremost and basic thing is actually the universal metering of water, because anything that is monitored can only be anything that is measured only can be monitored, and anything that been monitored only can be look for improvement. So if you want to reduce the water wastage or the leakage of water, etc., probably the first and foremost thing is probably water metering. And now a lot of digital solutions have come to ensure that this metering can be more scientific and more accurate, with even the human intervention, like automatic meter readers, etc., have come, which can actually help us in monitoring the quantity of water extracted and quantity of water which is being used in various sectors. And we can work on the how to reduce the wastage by probably process reengineering, or looking at the plugging the leakages which happen. So one of the very important aspects of digital monitoring is plugging the leakages, or the which is very rampant in the water sector now. You look at the non-revenue water in urban sector, it's almost has 40%, whereas a standard norm, or in countries like European nations, it's about 4 to 5%. So there's a long scope for improvement, long way to go to ensure that the the leakages are plugged. So digital applications and Internet of Things can help us in actually reducing the wastage of water. We also can have better and efficient pumps, which can reduce the energy drawn, and if the efficiency of pumping is improved, there's a lot of carbon emission can be saved, because the less quantity of energy draws. That is also another aspect which these type of institutions or the technology solution, digital solution providers can help us. We also, as I said, had been doing a campaign for storing the rainwater, the Catch Rain campaign. We thought that we will store as much rainwater as possible with people's participation. In that case, the water table is definitely bound to increase. As I said before, when we did this campaign last year, about 47 lakh structures have been built, which has actually stored a lot of water, thanks to the copious rainfall which we received last year. So the large quantity of water which has been saved in these structures actually has increased the water table, and the reports which we get from the groundwater Central Groundwater Board and their monitoring wells are that there has been a substantial increase in the water table in various parts of the country, which in turn would reduce the energy required for pumping, and also the power of the motors which require pumping. So from a 5 HP motor, it will come to a 2 HP, 2 HP motor, and also the power drawn for pumping also will come down. So these will help in reducing the energy requirement for pumping out the water. As all you know, agriculture is the largest consumer of water in the country. 90% of the water usage in the country is in agriculture sector, and a large percentage of irrigation presently in the country is through the groundwater irrigation, which causes which requires pumping. So energy requirement is there for pumping, whether it is diesel or power. A lot of energy is consumed in pumping, and in fact, 20 to 25% of the India's energy requirement is actually spent in the agriculture sector for pumping this water. So if we can find better ways of reducing the energy requirement for pumping up this water, that will go a long way in decarbonizing and also reducing the emissions. That's a very wonderful initiative which the Schneider electronic coming out with the fuel efficient pumps and much more efficient pumps, etc. That is again a very interesting aspect. And moreover, comprehensive planning of water management. This is very important, because if you look at the water sector in India, it is not the non-availability of water that matters. It is actually the mismanagement or improper management of water that is really causing us stress. So if we can have scientific solutions or engineering solutions or digital solutions which can help us in doing the demand and supply side management, if we can actually use efficient methods to improve the water use efficiency in the country, which is in a very poor state. The water use efficiency in agriculture sector is said to be about 35 to 35%, and in the industry is also similar to that extent only. So if we can do something to reduce the water usage in the industry by increasing the water use efficiency in both agriculture and industry, we can save a lot of water. So when you're talking about water security, the quantity of water is very important, which can be to a large extent saved if it is properly metered, and systems are set in place which will reduce the water usage by increasing the water use efficiency. That will go a long way in improving the water security aspect of it. Similarly, is the quality aspect of water. There are sensors which can actually monitor and help us in the quality of the water. These are new things which are emerging in the matter, but quality monitoring is also a very important aspect of water management. So if IoT and new technologies emerge, and the digital technologies can help us in monitoring the water quality, we can also take steps to ensure that the water is not polluted. We can catch the culprits who are polluting the water. One of the major solution problems of the river sector is particularly the discharge of effluents, particularly the sewage and the industrial effluents in the river, which pollutes a lot of water. So the NGT has been helping us, directed us to monitor the effluent flow into the rivers, and we are very strong, very strictly monitoring it. But this is where the technology can help us in monitoring the effluent flow into these rivers, and which pollutes them. So for all these things, we also require what is called as a total commitment and participation of the people. So people's participation is very important for taking this forward. So that's where the initiatives of Green Yodha come, motivating youngsters, motivating people to be part of this movement to conserve water, to ensure water security is very important. That's where the APAC and the Shiner Electric, which they have come together, and their initiative of making Green Yodhas, or committing people to work for better water security, is very important. As I said in the beginning, when we are talking about a $5 trillion economy, when you're talking about India leading the countries of the world in maybe 10 years, 15 years down the line, we have all resources with us. We have beautiful, intelligent human resources. We have probably have the largest human resource capital with us. We'll have technology. We will not. We'll have probably no dearth of money. We will not have any problem for energy, because very new sources of energies are being talked about and said about. But the limiting factor could be water if it is not properly managed. So this water management with people's participation and helping them with the digital equipments and digital support information systems, so that proper decisions are taken and informed decisions are taken to do the management of water, will go a long way in ensuring the water security. I congratulate the Shiner Electrics and the APAC for joining hands. And this movement of getting youngsters associated to be green Yodhas, and working together to the for the water security of the country is very, very important. And I congratulate them for taking this initiative, and hope that this will be sustainable. This is sustained. This is actually find more takers, and this will be a major movement in the country. And our march towards being the Vishwaguru or being leaders in the world can be realized without any hindrance. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sri G. Ashok Kumar. That was Mr. G. Ashok Kumar sharing his vision on sustainable water management and also on the Green Yodha campaign. And now we move to the next speaker. Let me introduce Sri Avinash Mishra from NITI Aayog. Let's hear his perspective.
Thank you very much, Somik, and for inviting me for this Green Yodha APAC News Network discussion. To start with, let me draw your attention to the words of Honorable Prime Minister, which he spoke in COP26, that is lifestyle for environment, and reminded us how to really live in a sustainable way instead of really going for a consumerism and creating the waste, and a lot of waste is getting generated to move away with this. This was an eye-opener, not only to the Indians, but globally. And people could really realize that there is a need now, while there is a climate change is happening and global temperature rise is happening, we need to learn how to live in a sustainable manner. In a recent study which was conducted by the Swiss government, it has indicated that even a 2 degrees centigrade temperature rise, because the India is in the last COP26 was proven to be the 2 degrees centigrade compliant, and among the G20 country, India is the only country which could match 2 degree compliant. Other were even more than that. So it was reflected in this study that even with the 2 degrees centigrade compliance, we are going to lose something close to 17% of the GDP. And the water, which is very much needed in almost all scenarios of the development, maybe the development related to the industrial production, the development related to the service sector, or the development in agriculture sector, all everywhere the water is there. Then coming back to the challenge, how we should really go for a sustainable use of water. For quite some time, we are advocating the concept of the conjunctive use of water, where the water is to be used with the surface water and groundwater both put together, and it should be in such a balanced manner that none of them gets extracted beyond a limit. But instead, now we need to push to another level where it is a circulatory use of water, while the water which should not be limited to single use, rather the water which has come out from one use should get some treatment and should be put to some other uses, third, fourth, or fifth uses. And that is the need of the hour. We are thinking this now, but since 2002, the Singapore is doing the same thing. You see, 30% of their water is the water which is in a circulatory system, and they use this water for drinking purpose and for many other purposes. After the primary treatment, they go for this water for the micro filtration, and then the bioremediation and UV treatment. In case of the efficiency of the water management in India is the prime thing which is required. Today we are using something close to 89 to 90% of water for agriculture sector, whereas the other countries, other developed countries like the US, like China, like all other countries, they are limiting their water sources for agriculture sector not beyond 65 to 70%. So this much higher percentage of water which is being used in the agriculture sector is just we require an efficiency improvement. Our efficiency in agriculture sector is 38 to 39%. We are all believing on conventional irrigation system. We need to move from that canal-based, unlined canal-based leaking and all those hydraulic structures to micro irrigation based pipe network. So that is all is needed. So this will improve our efficiency in agriculture sector. Even in industrial sector, I'll say the production of one unit in India is requiring 3 to 4 fold of water what it is being done anywhere else in the globally in other countries. So this much is required. This again reflected in terms of the production of the water. If we see the 1 per meter cube of water, how much the dollar it generates, so then in that case we are just generating $2 vis-a-vis UK 85, China 17, and Brazil 21. So that is a high time while we should really think to conserve the water. Traditional water system needs to be revised, and we should really manage the water not believe on the major irrigation projects, but even for minor irrigation project, the tiny tank development project, and where we can have this sustainable water management. We should also introduce the technology. Now the technology is available, that is for artificial intelligence, for the decision based support system could be there on the basis of all the data and information collected in the real time. So that is all is needed. And in other ways, we are also facing the water difficulty in our coastal area, where we need to undertake the saline water desalination. And for this, the Bhabha Atomic Research Center and the Chemical Research Institute, they both are developing a technology, and I am very sure very shortly will come out with this, and we will be able to provide the water even there. The NITI Aayog, along with the Atal Innovation Mission and Dutch Embassy, we are running a global water challenge, and where we are inviting the innovative solutions regarding the water sector issues and challenges. And we know that perhaps we will be getting much more such type of challenges and much more such type of technology to really deploy in our system to improve the water. Adoption of efficient irrigation, chemical-free farming, promotion of pulses, millets, use of artificial intelligence, power technology, cost-effective water treatment solution, use of water quality test kits, etc. They are the required today, and they are the need of the hour. Also, the behavior change in the sector is required. With this, I thank APAC News Network again for convening the conclave, and I am confident that APAC can reach out to many to effectively convey the pressing need of water conservation, that today we require the sustainable management of water and water conservation and the circulatory use of water. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Avinash Mishra. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. Let's have a perspective from Sri Hitesh Vaidya, Director of NIUA. Let's hear from him.
Thank you, Souvik, for inviting me to participate in this event, and it is a great honor for me to be here. We all have recognized that India needs to manage its water resources effectively and create enabling environment and inclusive environment for innovation-driven ecosystem in cities to foster sustainable urban water management. The focus of India's policy instruments is creating enabling conditions to create results. In India, the vision is being translated uh, of, into a typical actions at the local level. And there has been a lot of actions which are uh, happening at the local level from different fronts. But before I come to that, World Economic Forum has done a survey for last 8 years from 2012 to 2020, and every time the water management became one of the key area of uh, concern among all the different cities, different countries in the country in the world. So, what are we doing? We are at a national level, we are working on policies, we are working on instruments, and we are actually practicing those instruments at the local level. And these instruments are being practiced through different uh, uh, area. I will first talk about policy area, where we have a national urban water policy which is coming up, where the focus is going to be on mainly shifting from the supply side to a demand side of management. It's going to be talking about participatory ground urban water management. It's talking about managing aquifer recharge programs. It's talking about water quality management systems. It's also talks about rejuvenating our rivers. At the social side, it's talk about gender equity and social inclusion, whereas its major broad is how to make our cities water secure. In order to actually uh, work on these policies, there are different instruments which India is experimenting with. We have a Jal Jeevan Mission urban, we have a National Water Mission, we have a Swachh Bharat Mission, and we have a Smart City Mission and Amrut Mission. So all of them are talking about managing sustainable urban water supply. We as a National Institute of Urban Affairs has done one of the largest uh, climate assessment survey, which was done in 126 cities, and water management was one of the tool which we looked at it, and we looked at cities how they are assessing their water resources, how they are looking at wastewater recycle and reuse, how they are managing their non-revenue water, how they're becoming an energy efficiency in a water supply system, how they are managing flood water stagnation risks and management, as well as how they are looking at their wastewater. And it was surprising that 50% of the city, 160, so 67 cities are actually using, have initiated a water resource assessment frameworks within their cities. 47 cities have started working on, reducing non-revenue water. So there is a really, while this assessment was only on 160 cities, 126 cities, I think the results coming out of this assessment were very encouraging, which are like a role which NIUA is working on is how do you create adopt a sustainable growth strategies at the city level, taking up from the policy and the different instruments and missions which government of India has done. And if you look at national urban, if you look at a smart city mission, the focus is also on adequate provision of good quality of water, minimize water losses, systematic bring systematic efficiencies and optimization through smart applications. So idea is focus is how do you ensure a service delivery within the water management? How do you look at a last mile connectivity where when the person opens the tap, he has a water coming out of it. As an think tank, and I see a lot of work which uh, 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 Jal Jeevan Mission through their Green Yodha program and NIUA has done Climate Mitra program. I think a lot of collaborations can happen with both these program and the role we can play as a think tank as well as nudging the cities towards a sustainable water management. I see a fourfold approach which we need to do. And one of the starting point should be how we can empirical research and build scenarios and frameworks, create standards and policy briefs and guidelines which can facilitate states and cities to take action on the ground. We need to create some kind of a tools which and bring up a repository of best practices to really initiate these interventions at state and city levels and facilitate state and cities to take an action at the ground level. And lastly, we have to come up with a lot of institutional frameworks and monitoring and frameworks where we can start looking at outcomes rather than only inputs and outputs, but look at outcomes and start looking at impacts we are going to make into day-to-day lives of people. So these are the areas where we need to work. But I particularly think while we are looking at these four areas of collaboration, the focus of all this sustainable urban management has to be that we need to come up with strong data frameworks to create a evidence-based policy instruments. We have to be much more inclusive. So how do you include marginal section of societies into the major urban water frameworks? How do we really become more outcome oriented as well as dynamic? We should not, we all know that there cannot be one size fit approach which will happen. We have to come up with the new areas and contextualize it at the state and city level based on their requirements and their needs, and it should be flexible enough that we can have a midterm course revenue. In India, we have a lot of cities under smart city mission like Vijayawada, Surat, Bangalore, Cuttack, Ahmedabad, Indore, who are already showing a lot of exemplary work on doing a urban water management system. But I think the time has come to move these initiatives from the top of these cities to second tier and third tiers of cities, where the lessons from these cities can be then replicated to the cities. We have a SDGs goal, and that's the focus which we all have to look at it, which is how do we achieve bring a state of art practices and solutions on the ground which can facilitate state and cities for their better water management system. How do we come up with an integrated urban management water management system? How to create a water sensitive urban design, decentralized wastewater system? How do we also focus on full cost recovery of services? Also look at a water demand management, how to bring nature based solutions which are like not that's an area where we need to really focus on. Um, and also focus on reviving of our water bodies and wetlands, and provide evaluation of ecosystem services to the state and cities. So that's the area where we need to move forward. Going forward, the strategy of urban water management is in India is no longer to be a purely a water supply and sewerage approach. The quest to achieve SDGs goal, our focus is on achieving holistic water security for our cities, uh, and the knowledge management about water management is going to be the key to help state and cities to move and leapfrog their actions to a next level. And I wish this platform a great success, and I hope we as a collaborative methodology approach or whatever you call it will work, because I think there is going to be the next of 10 years, nobody has a clear answer. It has to come up through collaboration, collaboration, and collaboration. So I think this is a opportune time for us to put our brains together and move towards defining a new development trajectories, not only for states and cities, but also to a new urban India as a whole. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Hitesh Vaidya, for sharing with us your thoughts on the urban spectrum for sustainable water management. We heard from the government speakers about their vision and thoughts on the sustainable water management. Now let's hear from the industry leaders. We have with us a special guest, Mr. Senthil Kumar, Vice President Industrial Automation of Schneider Electric India. Let's hear from him. What are his thoughts on bringing efficiency and sustainability in water and wastewater segment?
Thanks, Savik, for that interesting question. I believe we all should come together to create a positive impact by reducing energy consumption, CO2 impact, and smartly managing scarce resources like water. It's a way forward to create a sustainable world. At Schneider Electric, sustainability, reducing carbon footprint, and reducing environmental impact for long have been at the core of our corporate strategy. We work closely with our customers and an ecosystem of partners to develop innovative solutions which addresses the global sustainable challenge. Water and wastewater segment is a very important segment for Schneider given that growing imbalance between supply and demand which is further amplified by pollution, overexploitation and a growing population. We offer a range of technologies for public water networks as well as for the industrial infrastructure. We offer a range of technologies to take care of pressure, flow, leak management, optimization and modernization, as well as manage quality of wastewater and fresh water. We also offer services for plant management in electrical distribution, automation and control, as well as motor management. Our IoT-enabled EcoStructure platforms helps customers to drive efficiency right from connected devices through the edge platform way up to the apps, analytics, and software layers. Our EcoStructure automation expert, which is world's first software-centric universal automation platform, helps customers to future-proof your investments. Our Aviva as well as other software basket helps customer to seamlessly integrate IT and OT services. Whatever may be the age and wherever may be your water asset, digitization helps all the customers to ensure we overcome the challenges and thrive. Come, let's join together and become a green Yodha for the water industry. Now I request Arkul, water and wastewater segment leader, to take us through the technological innovation in the water industry.
Thanks, Senthil. I completely agree that sustainable living is the way of life. The Green Yodha movement for water empowers individuals and stakeholders to embrace efficient, sustainable, and resilient practices in water management with the use of next gen technology and automation. Here are some of the key challenges faced by the water industry in India today. With the world's second largest population, the largest concentration of aspirational population, improving lifestyle and increasing per capita consumption of water, booming industrial growth, and one of the largest farming communities in the world, challenges can be bracketed in five buckets. Number one, access to safe and adequate water. This is being pushed by ambitious government programs and schemes to satisfy the demand of more aware and demanding customers. Programs such as Amrit and Jal Jeevan Mission intend to transform the lives of people, by making water available, by improving the quality of water, wastewater management, etc. Number two, capex constraints, where we are all challenged to give the best, bring in the best technology, etc. There is always a pressure to keep the costs down, to bring the right equipment and technology at the right cost, which will be capable of withstanding the demanding requirements, but also would work out on the stringent budget requirements that the utilities have. Number three, right decision making to ensure equitable water distribution at the right quality, non-revenue water reduction, including leakage and loss components, proper wastewater management and disposal, augmenting water circularity, meeting the intended social goals, enhancing uptime and service level, improving asset life and driving sustainability, ensuring seamless coordination between multiple water resources, including recycled water. All of this to meet the growing demands of water. Number four, workforce dynamics. We all know that talent, especially the right kind of talent, is in short supply. And with the advent of digitization, there is an immediate need to attract the right talent to manage, maintain, and run the assets, enhance governance, and make the sector a lucrative career option for the youth to come and participate. And number five, of course, the need to recover investments. So, while the social objectives are met, there is also a self sustaining model that is put into place for attaining and maintaining the right service level, the right quality, and so on and so forth. This will make it attractive for stakeholders to participate, especially the private stakeholders to participate in projects, be it in PPP model or HAM model or any other model. Technology is based on Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, big data, predictive management, integrated resource management, etc., are all integral parts of smart water technologies, and these technologies will play an important role in driving end-to-end water management and reuse. For some time now, we've become familiar with automation in SCADA. This helps the water operators today to monitor, plans, networks, the operations of these plans and networks, and so on and so forth. Get alarms in case of any failure, in case of any undesired operation, in case of any process deviations, etc. And helps the operator to be more efficient in terms of identifying these kind of incidents. Any change enablement strategy, however, should prioritize sustainability, decarbonization, reducing environmental impact, and combating water scarcity. The surge of digitization has the potential to revolutionize the world the way we know it. And in alignment with that, in fact, the government of India has long recognized the importance of focusing on development and efficient regulation of countries' water resources. As a result, the Ministry of Jal Shakti is establishing a long-term water management system to accommodate the current demand for clean, dependable, and inexpensive water. Sustainability and resilient water management is only possible when we scale up the technology value chain and enter the zone of optimization, integrated operations management, and contextualized end-to-end visibility and decision-making analytics. The key is to empower decision makers with the right kind of actionable information so that they can act on it without a delay. This includes bringing together of assets, operations, people, resources, etc., onto a single platform to ensure all the data and its interdependencies are well represented for an optimum analysis, resulting in a robust decision-making insights. Let's take a few examples. Jal Jeevan Mission. Jal Jeevan Mission aims to provide tap drinking water to every rural household in the country. There is immense focus on making it happen, and there is equally a backing of adequate funds that is allocated to the Jal Jeevan Mission. In fact, 2022 budget, the finance minister has allocated about 60,000 crores to the Jal Jeevan Mission schemes, and they're pushing states aggressively to implement it. What would be equally important is to arm the local bodies and the district authorities with the right kind of information so that they feel adequate and empowered to take quick decisions and make sure that the scheme objectives, the Jal Jeevan Mission objectives, are met. The state and the central government would want to monitor the progress of these projects while they're happening, while it's getting implemented, and also to make sure that the social objectives, among the other KPIs, are met during the operations phase. The water segment, in fact, today is at the cusp of technological revolution, something which the power industry went through about 20 years back. If you look at the power sector today, they are amongst some of the most advanced in terms of managing power demand versus supply, power quality management, power availability management, asset management, increase availability, etc., thereby giving an unprecedented boost to the Indian economy and enhancing predictability. There is still so much to be done in the adoption of IoT enabled smart water technology to help our customers manage the scarce freshwater resources better, ensure equitable water distribution, help maintain water quality, monitor and control wastewater discharge, help achieve water circularity, and prolong asset and infrastructure life, while at the same time reducing power consumption, help save on operational costs, become more customer centric, uh, increase the service levels, and ultimately optimize the cost of ownership across the life cycle of the assets. Sustainability calls for us to unite in a collective surge of activities that will inspire the warriors in us to make difference in people's lives and fight to safeguard the planet that we all call home. I'm pleased to join the Green Yodha movement to ensure we introduce new ideas and technology to India's water sector. I'm optimistic that this sustainability water conclave uh, I'm optimistic that this sustainability water management conclave journey ahead will provide the necessary knowledge about innovation and digital technologies to achieve sustainability and efficiency in water sector. To ensure a greener planet, I have become a green warrior, and this is time for all of us to empower ourselves to make the most of what the world has to offer in terms of energy and resources by acting for a climate positive uh, world, being efficient with resources, living up to our principles of trust, creating equal opportunities, harnessing the power of all generations, and empowering local communities. Join the fight, join the good fight, I would say. Be a green Yodha.
Thanks, Arkul, and everyone for the fantastic insights that you have brought to this discussion today. I would like personally to thank the Ministry of Jal Shakti for taking the much needed initiative as the key enabler without which we could not have imagined this kind of outcome. The Ministry of Jal Shakti's vision for a future ready water management system to fulfill the current and future demand for clean, dependable, and affordable water is highly commendable. I would also like to appreciate the partnership with NITI Aayog. They have provided us with a matrix for assessing and improving performance. NITI Aayog's Composite Water Management Index is an efficient tool for assessing and improving performance, which includes irrigation, drinking water, and other water related sectors. I would like to appreciate NIUA's support is in building the awareness and skill set required to fulfill the vision of water sustainability. NIUA serves as a knowledge bank by compiling best and optimal practices that help cities move towards sustainable urban water management. I would like to appreciate Schneider Electric's solutions and technologies that enable key stakeholders of change in the water industry to move a step forward for a greener future. We would like to thank you for bringing us all together here today by initiating the Green Yodha movement. I'd like to thank everyone for being torchbearers for this cause and inspiring everyone in the industry to come out, support, incorporate, and make it an inclusive mission. And to bring action to this movement, join our journey moving forward as we go to various regions in coming months, addressing local water challenges and bringing the best technology as an enabler. Join the good fight. Be a green Yodha. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.